Howdy folks, Bigfoot here, coming to you live from the coziest corner of the forest, where the air smells like pine needles and slightly burnt acorns. It's that time of year again, Thanksgiving, or as me and Larry the Squirrel call it, Swampsgiving, cause, well, most of our dinner guests tend to crawl, croak, or slither in. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bigfoot, do y'all even celebrate Thanksgiving in the woods? Oh, you bet your gravy boat we do. We might not have turkey or pumpkin pie, but we've got roasted cattails, swamp yams, and Larry's world-famous nut casserole. World-famous because the raccoons won't stop stealing it. This year, Larry wanted to go all out. He made invitations out of bark and moss, said we were hosting a grand feast for all creatures great and grumpy. Before I could say stuffin', we had RSVPs from half the swamp. The frogs said they'd bring flies and gravy, the raccoons promised borrowed corn from a nearby campsite, and old Gus the Gator said he'd provide live entertainment, which worried me cause last time his entertainment was just him snapping at the band. Morning of the big day, I was up early setting the table, which in swamp terms means a giant log with a tablecloth made of leaves. Larry was running around stressing like a squirrel at a nut shortage. He yelled, "Bigfoot, the mushrooms aren't glowing festive enough. We need more sparkle." I told him, "Larry, last time we added sparkle, the forest thought it was dancing." By mid-afternoon, the guests started arriving. Frogs in bow ties, raccoons wearing napkins like capes, even a couple of deer strutted in with twigs in their antlers for decoration. The smell of roasted cattails filled the air. For a minute, I thought, this might actually go smooth. Then Gus the Gator showed up with his idea of a centerpiece. A live turtle wearing cranberry sauce. Larry gasped and shouted, "You can't decorate with the guests, Gus!" The turtle just blinked and said, "I've made a huge mistake." Things went downhill faster than a possum on roller skates. The raccoons got into a tug of war over the cornbread. Larry was trying to host a Thanksgiving speech, but the frogs kept interrupting with fly burps, and Gus was playing banjo with his tail. I tried to restore order. All right, everyone, let's remember what this holiday's about. Gratitude. Just as I said that, a wild turkey burst out of the bushes screaming, "They're after me!" and dove right under the log table. Larry blinked and said, "Well, looks like dinner just RSVP'd itself." Now, I ain't one to eat my guests, so I offered the turkey some shelter. He introduced himself as Todd, said he escaped from a nearby human cookout. Poor fella was shaking like a leaf in a leaf blower. I told him, "You're safe here, Todd. Ain't nobody gonna eat ya, unless Gus gets ideas." Gus licked his chops. I glared. Gus sighed and went back to playing banjo. To lighten the mood, Larry decided to lead us in a Thanksgiving song. It started fine, something about friendship and gratitude, until the raccoons turned it into a rap battle. Next thing I knew, frogs were beatboxing, the owl was dropping bars, and I was in the middle of a full-blown swamp concert. Then the glowing mushrooms we used for lanterns started puffing blue smoke again. Larry waved it around, yelling, "Festive fog!" But within seconds, the whole table was giggling like maniacs. Todd the turkey was seeing fireworks, the frogs were floating like balloons, and Gus started reciting poetry about mashed potatoes. "Larry," I said, "I told you, no hallucinogenic decorations at dinner." He shrugged and said, "It's not Swampsgiving without a little magic." By the end of the night, everyone was full, dizzy, and singing off key. Todd gave a heartfelt toast to friendship, freedom, and not being served with gravy. We all cheered, even Gus. When the fireflies dimmed and the swamp went quiet, I sat back looking at the mess. Cranberry sauce on the moss, Larry asleep in the gravy bowl, frogs snoring in harmony. I smiled and thought, yeah, this is what it's all about. Gratitude, chaos, and creatures you'd never expect sitting at the same table. So from me, Bigfoot, and the entire swamp family, happy Swampsgiving, y'all. May your feast be wild, your friends be weird, and your mushrooms not be glowing. Bigfoot signing off with a full belly and a grateful heart.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.